Mike MDs, thanks for joining me today. We have a 2013 Mini Cooper S, and we're going to do a brake fluid service. I'm going to show you what's involved in that. This is a longtime customer of ours, really good customer, and brake fluid service is usually due every 2 years. It's a biannual service, and the reason why we do it is because the brake fluid is a natural desiccant. Even though it's a fluid, it actually can absorb moisture, which I know that sounds weird, but it does. And once it absorbs moisture, it can turn the components, it can start rusting some of the components because it has raw metal, iron in there, so it can easily rust, especially if oxygen gets in there. It starts turning like a root beer color, especially if you're way overdue. And we don't want to seize any of the brake calipers and stuff like that. So this is preventative maintenance, basically here. So every 2 years, we're in California over here, so it's not too big of a deal doing this. We also include the cabin air filter in this service only because it doesn't have its own service light, and it's just easier to remember, and it's a good time to do it every 2 years anyway, as well. So we do it together here. So let's get started. All right, before I pull this thing on the hoist, let's reset the service light on this. I'm going to show you how to do it real quick. So first things first, I'm going to wait till all these lights go out. I'm going to hold down this button right here for a few seconds till that, and I let go. I'm going to use a stock button right here. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to let go and then press it and hold down again. It's going to reset. There we go. So no other services are due in the menu. So let's pull this thing on the hoist, get going. All right, and like I showed you earlier, the brake fluid reservoir is right here. And I gotta take this little screen out. Just kind of pop it out with a pocket screwdriver. There we go. All right, got the hopper here for the brake fluid. Put it on top. It should stay right there. Shouldn't go anywhere. There it is. All right, underneath the car, we're gonna start at the farthest point from the reservoir. The reservoir was up there, so we're gonna start at this very back corner right here. I don't think it matters really much these days, but back on the old school cars, it did make a difference. It's just habit, so I always start back over here. And this is the little nipple that we're gonna take off, the protector, and we have the Zerk fitting. We have the fitting right here. We're gonna undo the bleeder screw right here. All right, now there's a few ways of doing this. You can do it manually. You can have somebody pump the brake pedal, hold it down while you uncrack the line here and it squirts out. And then close the line, have them pump it again, and repeat that a few times on each wheel. That's the old school way of doing it. If you have a machine, you can do it like that, where it puts pressure on the reservoir up top, and then you come down here and open it, and it forces it out. I prefer the suction method. This is called a vacula, and basically it uses compressed air to work. It has a Venturi effect, creates a vacuum in here, and it sucks it out. So that's the way I prefer. It's just quick, and then you empty this bottle out. This thing has done a bunch of brake fluid jobs. They also have a hand pump where you can do a hand pump vacuum through here as well. That works, but this is the way we do it here because we do so many of them, so we need a machine like this. I have 11mm wrench on here. Just crack it open. Kind of wheel it around, get all the crud loosened up in there. All right, we're gonna turn this puppy on, and I'm just gonna do it for about a minute. Each one is pretty good. The backs are longer because the hose is narrower up top, so it takes a while for all the brake fluid to travel through it. The front ones, I only do it for like 20 seconds and that's it. That's like plenty. And if the fluid is really bad, you can kind of see some of the brown stuff in there, but this one isn't that bad. This customer maintains it, and you don't want it to get to that point. So, you know, preventive maintenance. You see it right there. See it? Yeah. A lot of times you'll see bubbles in here and you'll think, oh wow, there's air in the system. But in reality, it's just the air coming in, sucking through the fitting right there. So it's not actually coming from the system. It's just siphoning the air through there and making it look like there's bubbles and air in the system. See that? All right, see, we're doing the front one. You can see how much faster this thing is flowing on the front because the lines are not only shorter, but they're also fatter. They're thicker lines. So but periodically I like to look at the condition of here, of the fluid through the hose, and see if it's really clear. Once it's really clear, like this one here, see I'm pinching it, then I know it's ready. And the front one, like I said, I only do it for like 30 seconds max. In every car we pull in, of course, we check tire pressures, top off fluids. All right, we're done underneath here. So this is the hopper. It has brake fluid in it, so I gotta do it quick to remove this thing here. Now keep in mind, you don't wanna top this off to like the tippy top, because the next time you do a brake job on this thing and you compress the piston on the caliper, it's gonna push all that fluid back up through the lines into the reservoir, and it's gonna overflow and kind of make a mess down there. So just keep that in mind. All right, if you do get some brake fluid on any areas like I did here, I made a mess trying to film with one hand and do the job with the other. Once everything's all together, you can kind of douse it with water. It'll neutralize it. That way you don't damage any of the painted components here. All right, we're gonna top off the oil on this guy. Every car we pull in, all these minis, second gen minis, are always at least 1 quart low. And part of it is just the customer isn't aware that these engines kind of eat oil. Also, there's no oil level light on this car. I'm making a mess over here. And then the third thing is the dipstick here is difficult to read. You get a lot of false readings with that dipstick. And I actually have a video of how to check the oil properly using the dipstick on this car. As easy as it sounds, it's actually, even some of the guys at the dealer I used to work with would read it incorrectly. They're just in a rush, you know? So it's real easy to read it incorrectly. All right, cabin filter replacement time. This is the filter we use here, the Hengst. There's plenty of good brands out there. I mean, it's a cabin filter, it's not a big deal. You can use a paper one. We like to use the carbon one on the customers only because it's a higher quality. It also helps with some of the odors and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna put a link where to get these, only because you can get them anywhere on any of the parts sites for Mini Coopers. You can just type in the year and model and it'll come up. It's not a big deal. And on these cars, it is located on the passenger side underneath the glove box. They're really easy to replace on these second gen Mini Coopers. I'm going to show you real quick. And I forgot to mention when I was doing the brake fluid service, if you are using the machine that I'm using, that vacuum machine, it's called a Vacula or like a Mighty Vac. That's actually the brand name of that thing. On the third gen Mini Cooper starting in 2015, don't put the setting on all the way full. Only do it at a quarter because it has an issue where it messes something up with the master cylinder, and it somehow causes like air in the system or something. So just keep it on the quarter setting and you'll be fine. Anytime I replace a cabin air filter for a customer, I have this spray here, and you can use anything. You can use like a Lysol spray, something. This is like a scent. So when they get in their car, I mean, when they spend money like this, they don't really notice anything different. They just know they spent money, and you reset a light. They don't know what time you put into it, you know, or if this is your own car even. So I like to spray the cabin filter with like a deodorizer scent, something that smells good. So when they turn the air on, they notice that, you know. It's a big deal, and it's so simple to do, you know. All right, if you look under here, there's this tab right here, and I just use like a little pocket screwdriver, and I put it underneath, and I just kind of pry and pop this down, this one here, and same with the other side, and it just comes down like that, like a little door, and you can see underneath where the old one's at, and that one's all messed up for some reason. And let's pull this out. All right, and if you look in there, you can see this channel. It looks like a snake, and it's gonna ride along in here. So it's gonna be kind of like a curve going in there. And keep in mind when you pull the old one out, the direction of the arrow on the filter. Like that little arrow right there. All right, we're just gonna snake it in. Just like that. It's really easy. It's not a big deal. Just like that. See that there? All right, and we're just gonna close this door, and that's it. So it's time to test drive it now. Make sure the brake pedal feels nice and firm, no sponginess, no air in the system. That method we use is pretty good. I've never had air in the system from using it. Only on the 3rd generation it does that weird thing I mentioned. But that's why we're going on a test drive, just to make sure everything's good. We're gonna use the blower as well. Make sure there's no funny noises or stuff blowing out of the AC, like any leaves or anything like that, even though I did check. It's always good to drive it right before. Guys, I just want to thank you for watching, supporting my channel, and appreciate if you like and subscribe and share. And I have plenty of other videos like this I can help you out, and some are for entertainment, some are how-tos, and I have all kinds of stuff. So hopefully you can find something there you enjoy. I'll see you on the next one. Happy motoring to you.